I'm Gabrielle Doraisamy, and thank you for tuning in to Raw TV, Real and Willing Television. Today we have such a fantastic show for you. We are talking about the different forms of worship and how we can integrate them into our daily lives as young adults. Not to mention, we have a pretty fantastic guest. We have popular Christian recording artist Roy Tosh here in studio, and he is going to be doing a special song for us, performance, as well as an interview. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, we have to acknowledge the fact that many people might have different definitions of the term worship. So naturally, we had to turn it over to our super awesome correspondent for Word on the Street, Brittany Duffy, who's asking people maybe what their terms or definitions of the term worship. Hey guys, so for this week's episode on Raw TV, we're talking about worship. Now, worship has different meanings for different people, so I went around Southeastern University's campus asking students how they define worship. Okay, so the first question I'm asking you is, how do you define worship?
Yeah, so worship to me is it's life, honestly. It's just like every day, every action we do, whether it's waking up in the morning, waking up on time.
Living your life for Christ, living your life for God, you know, praising God with what you do, how you sing, how you act.
And everything that you do, you glorify Him, you bring honor to His name.
A complete surrender of like everything that has to do with me.
I believe that worship is like love. As far as when you express yourself to someone, you express it through love, and that's how we express ourselves to God, is through worship. We express how much we love Him by giving Him time and separating a specific time to worship Him.
Even at the same university, we all have different definitions of worship. How do you worship? Thank you, Brittany. Well, I have to, of course, welcome not only our guests, but our wonderful panelists. We have Roy Tosh right here, and then Lydia.
Good to be here. Good to be
She
here.
didn't cheer for me, so okay. I'll cheer for you.
I got you.
And Lydia, Gabrielle, and Austin. So thank you all for making the show happen. So we heard a little bit about what Brittany's answers were with Word on the Street. How do you guys personally define the term worship?
At my synagogue, we dance.
Yeah, that's kind of like it is in my Pentecostal church too sometimes. So,
Yeah,
but I think worship is something that you can do. It's not exclusive to just church, but it's something that you can do anywhere, you know, at any time.
Yeah, I think just going through your daily lives, just like using what you do every single day, talking to people, that's just worshiping God, like just showing His love through yourself.
Yeah, it's like music maybe? Like.
Yeah, definitely music. I think too, Colossians 3:23 comes to mind.
Okay.
It says, in everything we do, you know, do it unto God, do it for His glory. I think worship to me is like a posture of our heart, which that's what God looks at anyways, the thoughts and intents of our heart. So easier said than done, obviously. But I feel like, you know, whether we're working or in music and church, actually, you know, with praise music and all that stuff, that's what we typically think of as worship. But we can worship God in all spheres.
And worship anything.
Influence.
I mean, technically, if you're not coming at it just from a religious point of view, you could worship like pretty much anything.
Yeah,
true.
Oh, that's one of my questions. I'm always like, you're in the club, raising your hands, eyes closed, listening to music, dancing. Like, that's what I do in service. So, what's going on with your heart at that
It's kind of
point?
interesting because it's kind of like, I think about priorities, you know, like you can choose to worship the TV, you know, the new Xbox or PS4 if that's what you guys like. But
A lot of people worship themselves too.
Yeah,
That's
so
a big
true.
one.
Exactly. So is that kind of like the point of it, that when it goes boiled down, it's kind of like what you're prioritizing in that very moment, kind of what you're focusing on?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, just like whatever you're shining the light on. And I think as Christians, like our main goal is to shine the light on God, whereas people in their daily lives will shine the light on like themselves and like different people around them. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's what I was going to ask next, and we kind of already almost touched on it, is the fact that when people hear the term worship, at least for me and maybe for you guys, you think of like, hallelujah, you know, like the traditional maybe music specifically, but you can kind of show, you said dancing, right?
Yeah.
That's your form of worship.
Yeah, at mine, they do. It's called Davidic dance at my Messianic synagogue. That's when people are like, are you a dancer? I'm like, I could Turkasio with the best of them. Like, that's one of the moves.
What?
Yeah, it's like a little, like, okay, I always
haven't tried
describe
that
it,
one
you
yet.
know, like Greek, how in the Greek culture they dance in circles.
The Opa thing.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, you'll see them at weddings, they'll dance in circles. That's what, you know, at Messianic synagogues, that's what they'll do. They'll dance.
I'm coming to y'all's church.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. Well, let it be a wedding. We'll put you up on a chair.
Yeah.
So is it kind of like whatever you feel comfortable doing, or is it kind of just like what everyone else is doing and you're just like, okay,
Like, does everybody
raise your
do
hands?
that?
Yeah. Oh no, it's organized dancing. It's not like crazy getting out there, you know, break dancing in the middle. It's organized dancing. It is Davidic dancing, so it's based off of what kind of David would have been doing in Scripture.
Yeah.
And it's not anything to take away from the music that's going on. It's just a way for people who are maybe a little bit more physical with their expression to be able to do it that way.
Yeah, so kind of whatever comes to them. So how important, because I know we're all busy, you know, like whether that's scrolling through Instagram feed or whether that's doing homework, we're all pretty busy. It's a great thing, okay?
That's you.
But we're all pretty busy, so how important is it to kind of like make time and set aside time to specifically just worship and make sure like your heart's like really in it and not just like, oh, I love this song, and like Oceans comes on and we're all just like, oh, you know.
Well, you have to get rid of the distractions. There are so many distractions. So, I mean, if music is your form of worship, then keep the music on, but put your phone aside. Or like, you know, your homework or whatever you're doing. You know, you have to really go all in and focus on that moment of worship.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I mean, for you, I always kind of wondered, if you're performing, it's not necessarily like, are you worshiping or are you like putting on a show? Can you like differentiate? What's that like?
Yeah, I would say, you know, again, going back to my heart, I think I have to fight to keep my heart engaged in that posture of worship to God. And so I remember, take you guys way back at a concert where like no one was there, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, man, this is terrible. Like, why aren't more people here? And the Lord was like, yo, what are you doing this for?
Wow.
And right there it was like, wow, like I really need to check my heart. And so I've fought to try to keep that every time, no matter how many people I'm in front of, to keep it about Him. And whether people are involved, whether it's a massive concert, whether it's small, whether there's 10, it doesn't matter. The goal is the same, to give glory to God and make it about Him. So.
Wow, is that hard sometimes for you? Because I mean, you know, if I'm putting on a concert, I would assume, you know, I would be kind of aware of all these people staring up at me. I mean, is that difficult as like just a worship figure, or?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that gets worked out, you know, like we were talking about, in that day-to-day intimacy with God, where you go before Him, keep you know, yourself humble before Him, and give glory back to Him. But yeah, it's a daily fight. I'm human, and so you constantly, you know, the flesh wants the praise of man and wants attention and all that stuff, and you have to die.
If they're screaming your name, like,
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first kind of got into listening to a lot of like Christian hip hop and stuff, one of the concerts that I went to, they were like, stop yelling our name, like yell Jesus. And I was like, wow, you guys are like, you know, so it makes you like the more as a person too, and realize like they are humble and they are, you know,
and I
putting your heart back on Jesus.
went to a concert here. It was a Christian concert, and I was talking to other people about it, and I asked people, like, did you really enjoy the concert tonight? And one person stopped me and he said, he was really upset, and he said, is that what you call it, a concert? It was worship.
Wow.
And so that really hit home, and he was offended by a lot of people who called it a concert. So.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You're just like, preach, yes.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, there are lots of, you know, venues and genres you can look at for music, if that's what you're going to be doing for worship. And so we were kind of curious to see like what people's favorite bands or worship groups were. If it was a concert, maybe it was, you know, a service, wanted to know. So we went back out to Brittany with Word on the Street.
One of the ways that we as Christians worship is through music. I'm asking students what their favorite worship song is. What is your favorite worship song right now?
So my favorite worship song has been consistently the song Beautiful Lord. It's by Leland.
Hands down, Forever by Carrie Job. Jesus I Come by Elevation Worship.
Right now, my favorite worship song is Sovereign by Chris Tomlin. It goes, in your everlasting arms. I forget the rest. It's really good when you listen to it, the real song.
I actually love Draw Me In from the SCU Worship album, and I actually like it a lot because it's a different kind of worship song. It's kind of one that puts me in like at the feet of God, basically, compared to other worship songs where I'm trying to reach out to God. It's like I just imagine myself kneeling down and God's just reaching down to me.
Wow, those were some awesome choices for worship songs. My personal favorite is Draw Me In by SCU Worship. What about you guys?
Thank you, Brittany. Well, of course, we have to introduce our fabulous guest. Mr. Roy Tosh is here in studio. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. It's
So
good to be here.
we want to learn a little bit more about you. So correct me if I'm wrong, you came from Indiana, correct?
Yes, Indianapolis.
That's your hometown,
The
right?
Nap town. We call it the Nap.
Okay, see, I'm learning so many more cool things. I feel so much more street cred hanging around you. That's cool.
There you go. You're
and
doing
now
well.
I'm
Doing
good,
well.
good. So I'm here. You're here in the Sunshine State now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you liking
Orlando, we love it.
And you moved here with your wife and brand new baby boy, right?
Yes,
Congratulations.
little Sam.
Yeah, we were creeping on your Instagram and all the girls were like, oh my gosh, look at him, so cute.
Hey, that's how I feel right
That's
now.
how you
I'm just
feel?
Like, every time I come home, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Such a small
Freaking
human.
out. Love them.
That's awesome. So you're here in Florida and you're liking it. That's very, very cool. So you were born in Indianapolis, and I'm just going through your bio in my head, basically. And you were super into basketball, correct?
Yes, I was definitely a basketball
You were the cool
jock.
kid in high school.
I was.
We wouldn't have known each other.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I love you now. It's cool.
Okay,
It's cool.
Okay, so you're the
But yeah,
jock.
basketball jock, absolutely. Played, eat, slept, and breathed basketball.
I
That
can't
was-
see it. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
No, you're
Little
definitely the jock.
sarcasm
No, that's cool. Okay, so you were the jock, and that kind of led a little bit into your testimony. Is that
Yeah,
right? So how did that
definitely.
happen?
Definitely, I think just the whole, well, it doesn't happen to everyone, but for me, along came popularity with that. I excelled in basketball, got a bunch of awards and stuff like that, especially my senior year. And I was, got to the point where I was like partying almost every night and got into drugs, alcohol, all that type of stuff, and really was just so empty as a result of living outside of a relationship with God and just searching. So that's kind of what drew me in and got me to a place where I was open to hearing about Him.
So during your popularity and your partying, did you kind of like feel that inside of you, or did something happen and it kind of like you're like, man, something has to change?
No, definitely felt emptiness, despair,
Really? Okay.
hopelessness. Yeah, absolutely. Because I was doing drugs just to go to sleep at one point in my life, that empty. And so, yeah, a lot of despair and just complete emptiness. So.
And how did you kind of come into a church? Did someone invite you, or like how did that?
I ran into a pastor. I went to like a youth camp type thing.
Did you go, or were you sent?
I was both.
Both, like the bad kids are sent to youth camp.
I was
Okay.
sent. But the pastor there, he's actually from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
Very genuine. He played football, so he was like a man's man. But he was so authentic, and
Really?
it was crazy to me because he genuinely seemed joyful.
Wow.
No matter what was going on in his life, and I wanted that. I didn't know what that was, but I wanted that. And he led me to Christ through an email, actually.
Through an
believe it or
email?
not. Through an email.
Is this one of those like, if you don't send this, all these bad things are happening? No. it's just a genuine-
No.
Y'all were scared of those too, okay?
No, yeah, right. I'm not gonna lie. I sent some of those in high school. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to send that. But yeah, it was through an email. I actually emailed him initially because at the time I was just too prideful to talk to him face to face. And it was easier for me to open up through an email. So I just spilled my life out to this guy. And at the end of the second email, he said, I dare you to get alone and to cry out to Jesus. And it's crazy to think about, but I knelt beside the computer there, and God's presence just overwhelmed me.
Really?
And I've never felt so loved before. And I was like the worst of sinners. You got to understand. Like I was like the bad kid that led astray the good people, that dude. And so to think that God can love someone like me is mind-blowing to me.
So it's true. It's a testament to those people. Like, had you not noticed his genuine joy, you wouldn't have been drawn in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seeing that relationship played out.
And so now you're transitioning into a music career, and you really don't have much of a musical background, is that right?
Not at all.
So how did you just kind of like, you started speaking tongues, and you're like, oh, I got a beat here. How did that happen?
No, that would have been dope. That would have been cool.
Dope.
But no, there you go. There's another one. It's all right. You're learning. You're catching up here. I didn't know what a C note was on a keyboard. I mean, I was basketball jock to the T, and you know, after I gave my life to Christ, I started to write songs out of nowhere. I bought a little beat program and was making beats on my computer. I loved hip hop. I loved the culture of hip hop and grew up heavily influenced by that. I remember bought my first hip hop CD in 7th grade, had this ghetto Cadillac rolling around in high school on
You're one of the guys that my mom is like,
stay away from that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. But yeah, so, you know, I'd never rapped or anything like that, no music. And after I gave my life to Christ, just stuff started pouring out of me. God would open doors, and one thing's led to another. It's been incredible.
And you've done some
grateful.
huge things. I mean, you've partnered with a lot of big people in the Christian music industry specifically. I know you opened up for Grammy award-winning artist Lecrae.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
He's
and
the real deal.
You have a really cool mentor, right? Benja's your mentor.
Benja, that's my dude. Shout
and you
out
met
to
him.
Benja.
Hey Benja, how's it going? So you met him in church, and he's been your mentor throughout now. And so, as you're kind of like rising the ladder, becoming, you know, bigger and bigger in the music industry, how do you personally stay grounded in your faith and have that genuine worship time alone with you and God?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I think having that daily intimacy with Him, where you stay humble before Him, and keep that intimate relationship number one. And then I think that, and then having solid community around you, having accountability, having guys that will call you out, that know the real you. We all need that. And I would not be here if it weren't for the church. So, how
do you go about finding that group of people, just really quickly? I mean, how do you sign an email and you're saying, I'm looking for accountability partners, or no?
Hey, in our generation, that might work. I think sometimes, I think you have to seek it out sometimes. Like for me, I remember in college, I had to get online, search for an actual church, and then, go get connected, ask if there's small groups, ask for mentors.
Face-to-face interaction.
Exactly.
No apps for this at this point.
Open
wow.
up. Get
That's
to know
crazy.
people.
Wow.
Yeah. No more Instagram.
No more Instagram. Man, I'm an addict, okay?
I am too. It's cool.
So, okay, that's awesome. I think that's super important, and thank you. And I'm going to let you go because I know you have a performance to get ready for, but we're going to hand it over one more time to Brittany Duffy with her final follow-up question with Word on the Street.
There comes a time through our walk with God where we develop our own worship habits. I'm asking students how they worship now. How do you worship now?
So I worship in a lot of ways. One of the ways I've been worshiping lately is silence, just sitting and just listening to God.
I get on the drums and I normally play to a worship song, or even in my, I just in my dorm, I just sit down, listen to worship music and just reflect on my life, read the Bible. Life journals, as always, those are good.
By just letting the Lord love me.
Actually, now worship for me no longer is limited to the church space. It's I'm more conscious of worship in everything that I do. So I define worship as a lifestyle now. So if I say I love God or I'm worshiping Him, it has to be evident in everything I do.
Experiences in our lives help us transform and develop the way we worship now. I'm Brittany Duffy with the Word on the Street. Back to you in the studio.
How y'all feeling tonight? Alright. It's good to be here at SCU on Raw TV. I go by Roy Tosh, and this is one of my favorite songs. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I don't know about y'all, but I love rolling around my city with the windows down and the bass hitting low. So can y'all help me out tonight? Alright, say this after me. Check it. Say bass down low, bass down low, bass down low. Bass down low, turn up, bass down low, bass down low, rolling, bass down low, bass down low, come on, bass down low, come on, bass down low, come on, bass down low, hey, now let me see them hands high, hey, how you doing? Turn the beat up while you rolling. It's been a while, I've been refueling. The love of God run deep, boy, that got me ruined. Rolling down that straight and narrow road. Just like that prodigal, but I came back home. Wow, yeah, I've been set free, set so free. White be rolling with me. All around this flow, we spreading love, so come and roll with me. From the east, back to the west. Down south, back to the Midwest. Hey, turn it up. trunk up it. Put the windows down. Let me hear you say bass down low, bass down low, bass down low, bass down low. Hey, bass down low. Come on, bass down low. Come on, bass down low. I wanna hear you say bass down low, bass down low, bass down low. Now let me hear you say bass down low, bass down low, bass down low, bass down low. This next song is called Never Die, and it's coming from my new album called Death Before Love. Super excited about it. Yeah. Jesus said if we believe in him, we'll never see death, that he'll give us eternal life. So say this after me. Say never die, never die, never die, never die. You won't shut us down, we on another level. Heaven is our home and we will never settle. Even when the heart's out, we'll never die. Take a look at history, we multiply. We're going through it again. Been working like it's overtime. Mentor told me go back to that boy. I swear there's so much on my mind. Late nights I can't sleep, my heart will not stop. Beat down, so anxious, wish time would just stop. Now hold up, let me refocus. You see me fall, but I'll never fall. Chasing after these dreams. Tear me down, that's gasoline. Fueling up on my fire. Getting low so I can go higher. God is all around me, about to go haywire. Try this all on my own strength, that never worked. More regrets, hit my knees and then read the truth. Now my mind renewed, now let's go get it. Representing for you. Tryna bear me some fruit. Even when I'm in these trenches, his love is so relentless. You won't shut us down, we on another level. Heaven is our home and we will never settle. Even when that heart stops, we'll never die. Take a look at history, we multiply. You won't shut us down, we on another level. Heaven is our home and we will never settle. Even when that heart stops, we'll never die. By the resurrection of Jesus, so say this with me. Say never die, say never die, never die, nah, we'll never die, say it, we'll never die, never die, never die. Y'all can do better than that, come on y'all. Say never die, never die, say never die, say never die, hey, never die, we'll never die, we'll never die. We'll never die. Raw TV, SCU, how y'all feeling? It's good to be here. So, I don't know about y'all, but life gets difficult at times, and by the grace of God, I'm learning to fix my eyes on Christ. And he always pushes us through, right? He gets us through what we're going through. So let's take off tonight. I'm about to lose my mind, working this 9 to 5. Go home for the night, stressed out, I'm still behind. Got a fam to feed, a wife to lead. It's like he's falling, yeah, he's at his limit. He just wanna give up, he just wanna quit it. Dark days, his nights long, he's trying to move on, but he doesn't know how he's gonna stay strong. I hear you, but hear me, it'll all be okay. Cause life goes on, look at the cross, so forget this world tonight, we taking off. Hands high, hands high, yeah, now let me see them hands high, hands high. In 3, 2, 1, let me see you jump, jump, jump. Raw TV, we taking off. Hey, hey, let's take off. Hey, yo, I'm trying to make the best out of a crummy situation. Now somebody call the doc, cause I'm running out of patience in my mind. In my mind, I hear voices all the time. I've been stressing for a minute and it's feeling so infinite. All day they laughing and mocking, say he won't make it. You'll never amount to nothing. He's studying, he can't take it. Words will cut you so deep, like knives in your heart, they break it. But life goes on, look at the cross, so forget this world tonight, we taking up. Hands high, hands high, yeah, now let me see them hands high, hands high. In 3, 2, 1, I wanna see you jump. jump, 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 jump. I see y'all. Hey, we taking off. We taking off. Raw TV, SCU, we in here.
Yeah! How awesome was he, guys? One more round of applause. Well, we want to thank everyone who is part of our live studio audience, also for watching. Keep up with us on our social media, and we'll be giving you the latest updates. And always remember to live it raw. All right, nice job, guys. Woo! Yeah. Yeah.
Bam! DJ Duffy, what it do? Raw TV. This song is called Take Me Back. Make sure you check out the video on YouTube. I hope y'all enjoy it. Sometimes I just want to ask God this.
Why do you love me?
Why do you love me?
So unfaithful.
I'm so unfaithful.
I never keep my word, no.
Nah, but you still take me back. You still take us back. You still take me back. Jesus, we worship you.
I fall down on my knees.
This is do or die. Yeah, standing on that rock now. Soul about to fly, fly, fly. Cause my God hold me down now. Feeling like my roots deep in the midst of these winds, but I won't break. Nah, my God never changed. Even when I'm down, He is faithful to remain when I'm feeling pain. Yeah. Confident now, and His love so secure. Crying out for more. Lord, I'm letting go. I'm giving you control. You're calling me to grow. Even though it hurts sometimes, I know you make me whole. You're holding my hands, and I know you're never letting go. I'm on that overflow, never low. Riding steady, immovable, I'm unbreakable. You try to shake me, but you'll never separate me. No.
Why do you love me?
Why do you love us?
So unfaithful.
We're so unfaithful.
I never keep my word, no.
Nah, but you still take us back. Jesus, you still take us back.